can see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. As you know, this section is all about salaries and wages. Um, it's all about what you call, sometimes you call it payroll. Okay. I think maybe one day you want to go and work. I don't know, maybe you want to be a businesswoman, but even if you're a businesswoman, you're gonna pay people. You understand?
Yes.
People need to be remunerated for what they worked for. So in the process, obviously, there's something called payslip. I think you know payslip.
Yes.
Yeah, payslip. Obviously, it will show what you earned. What they deducted, because sometimes when they say you are going to get 10,000 per month, it doesn't mean that you're gonna take home 10,000. Is because we've got things called deductions. Okay.
Okay.
So here we deal with the basic way of calculating net salaries and net wages. When you progress with your BCom, you'll see there will be a module called taxation. I don't know whether you're gonna go for accounting or you're still gonna decide whether you're gonna go for pure accounting or something else. But when you continue with
Business.
account business,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, so there's something called
But I think
taxation.
there's also taxation there because I saw it.
There's also
Yeah.
taxation. Okay, yes. So you have to do the taxation is where they go into detail when it comes to the salaries and wages. Okay.
Okay.
So they will tell you there are more rules, there are acts which you need to follow. But here we deal with the basic calculation of net salary and net wage. What is the difference between a salary and a wage, according to your understanding?
Um. It it's not the same thing.
Obviously, is all of them are called remunerations, but salaries
Yeah.
are paid monthly,
Mm-hmm.
and then wages are paid weekly,
Okay.
or maybe in 2 weeks. Can you see now? Those are called wages. But it doesn't matter. The way to deal with them is the same. It's just that you are being compensated on
Mm-hmm.
different periods. So salaries monthly, and then wages weekly.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now,
Okay.
okay. Now let's start with this just to explain the theory around it. As you can see here, we've got salaries and wages, and we have something called gross salary. So I'm just going to talk about the salary, but at the same time, it's the gross wage. You can say gross wage or gross salary. So the word
Okay.
gross, it means is what you normally see when they advertise on the newspaper or on the internet, where they say, here is a position for an accountant. You're going to earn 20,000. That 20,000 is called gross. Why? Because they will still have to deduct other things. Can you see now? So the amount promised to you is called a salary, and a salary consists of the basic salary, gross salary, plus any incentives like bonuses. Sometimes people get bonuses, okay? For example, at the end of, let's say they can give you double your salary for a particular month. Does that make sense?
Bonus are. Oh.
It's like, let's say, can you see I wrote 13th check?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say at the end of the year, they say, okay, for December, you get your salary, double your salary. So in other words, that extra salary is called what? A bonus.
Okay. Okay. I see.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Or I know some of the institutions whereby they give you a bonus on your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that? On your birthday, if you're earning a net of 10,000, you'll get 20,000 for that month.
Okay.
And others get bonus because of the performance. They say, okay, this month you performed very well. Here is an incentive. They give you a bonus for that. So there are different ways of giving someone a bonus. So we call it an incentive. So they appreciate you. They give you something extra. Does that
Okay.
make sense? Yes. Now, like I said, obviously you need a salary, but that salary, obviously, there are things called deductions. As you can see here, we've got deductions. That's why on your payslip you will see deductions. Okay. In other words, before they give you that salary, they need to minus those things. Are we together?
Mhm.
And those deductions are deducted from the gross salary.
The gross salary.
Yes. So these are the examples of deductions that we're gonna deal with. For example, there's something called pay
So,
as you earn. This pay as you earn. So you can
mm,
just call it tax. It's tax that you must pay. That's why here I wrote what SARS. Can you see now?
yeah.
You know that you need to pay tax to SARS. Even though sometimes SARS, there are people who must not pay tax to SARS depending on how much you earn. But here we're talking about people who qualify to pay tax. So if you get 5,000, they can tax you 2,000, for example, you take home 3,000. I'm just giving a random example, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And sometimes there are things called pension funds. You heard about pension?
Yes.
Yes. Like when you retire, you need pension to survive. So, in other words, that pension is not for free. They will deduct from you.
Okay.
Like every month, they will deduct from you. Sometimes you can find that, let's say they deduct 1,000 from your salary. So if your employer likes you, they normally say, okay, because you are contributing 1,000, we can also match 1,000. So in other words, in your pension fund, you can find that you've got 2,000. Can you see now?
Mm-hmm. Does this
But they are not
amount
forced.
uh, is this amount already fixed, or like how we pay VAT, or it just depends on someone like.
It's fixed on your. They can just say 10% is fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fixed, but it depends on because they've got many institutions which can give you pension. Like even banks do have pension funds, so you can
Mm-hmm.
just choose which company. But normally companies have got their own people. Like I know about some companies they use Discovery, not Discovery.
Yes.
Yes, you can have a discount. They can say that you pay a medical, let's say probably a pension fund of 1,000 per month. So meaning every month in your fund you're gonna put 1,000, but that 1,000 is like you're investing for the future because you're gonna get interest on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. You can be lucky to find that you are paying 1,000. Even your employer can say, "I'm gonna pay 1,000 for you." Can you see? It means you're gonna pay how much in the fund? 2,000. That 1,000 extra for them from the employer will make the difference. That's why pensions
Okay.
are not the same. Some people get millions, sometimes people don't get millions. So it depends on how much did you contribute.
Oh yeah, I see.
And for how long have you been employed?
Okay.
Yes. And sometimes you've got medical aid.
Mm,
Sometimes, let's say you are Discovery again, they do supply medical aid. They do provide. So it means you can also contribute to medical aid. But again,
mm-hmm.
when it comes to medical aid, you can find that you contribute something, even your employer contributes something. But it's not all every time where you find employer contributing. So it depends. So, but you can have your own medical aid if you don't want to have the one from the employer. You know, you can. There are many
Mm-hmm.
companies which are offering medical aid. Okay,
Yes.
and there's something called UIF. I think you heard about it before.
Unemployment insurance fund. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like when you are unemployed, so you remember they can pay you something for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
They expect that after 6 months maybe you can get something. But remember, the unemployment insurance fund is not this. It's not going to be the same as your salary. It's going to be less. Can you see now? They're just
Okay.
helping you for now. Can you see now? So we
And
need
who
to
pay
check.
this? Is the company or the government?
It's the company and the employee and you. So currently it's 1%, meaning they will take 1% of your gross. I'm going to show you how to do that. And
Mm,
even the company must pay 1% from their side.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
But I'm going to break down that one for you, don't worry. So I was just trying to explain the meaning of the gross salary. Meaning gross salary, it means it's before they deduct. These are the deductions. They will minus these things before they give you the money. Are we together?
Yes.
No problem. So no problem. Let me just go to the next one. Here I'm just saying other deductions. It depends. Can you see when we talk about the deductions here? Remember, sometimes as employees, I think sometimes even in South Africa, people go to the street. They say they're on strike.
Mm-mm.
Like union, like sometimes they say we're on strike. That's why there's something called staff associations. We call them labor unions. I don't know if you heard about them before.
No.
They represent workers. Like for example, let's say I'm working as a lecturer, I can
Mm-hmm.
join a union so that if I've got problems, the unions will fight for us. Like for example, you can see at a mine, mine. Some people sometimes they are on strike. Can you see now?
Yes.
It's because they belong to a particular union. So the union says we are going to be. They represent workers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see.
But remember that union, they need money. So every month you can find that maybe you pay 10 rand from your salary, they take 10 rand, 10 rand, so that the union can work efficiently. So those things are also other deductions.
Okay.
And again, I can talk about as an employer. Sometimes, let's say you are a teacher. There's there's a institute. There's an institute for the teachers. Like for example, you must be registered. Sometimes they say you must be registered with this. Like being an accountant, you must be registered with an accounting association. Like there's an institute where you must register with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like if you're an engineer, you must be registered with an institute for engineers. So those things again, they will
Even the
deduct from your salary.
doctors, eh?
Even the doctors, they must be associated, like affiliated with a certain association, and they pay per month. Even though it's not a lot, but they pay per month.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't worry, the question will always tell you which deduction do they have.
All right.
Now, can you see I just gave you the formula at the bottom there? The main
Mm-hmm.
aim is to calculate the net
Gross salary, net
salary.
salary,
We'll
gross
take
salary,
gross, and
less deduction,
then we get what?
take home payment,
Take home payment is the same as what?
net salary.
Yes. So that's why if let's say you see a job, they say they're gonna pay you 20,000. Don't plan on 20,000. You must plan
You,
on something less. From that 20,000, you can take 16,000 home.
Esh.
That's how.
Okay.
That's why it's tough out there. If you can check, people are paying a lot of tax. I'm telling you.
That's why people need to do business.
Yes, you need to do business because you cannot live on salary.
Yeah.
Even if you have it, just have something on the side. That's why
Yes.
people sell things. They sell perfumes, they sell, they want extra money so that at least, they can top up their salary
Mm-hmm.
there. With the salary only, you won't survive it. Things are
Yeah.
not easy. It's tough everywhere,
Yeah.
not only here in Africa,
Everywhere.
everywhere. You see, that's
Mm-hmm.
the problem. But what can you do? We just have to go with the flow for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the wages. Remember, I said the wages are paid. As you can see here, they're paid
Weekly.
weekly, yes. That these people are always having money in their pockets. You know them. You ask them, oh, we always have money. They always get, they just use all their money. They know that next weekend they get more cash.
Okay. That's
But you need
nice.
to be disciplined because you end up not saving money
Mm-hmm.
because you just use the money. Can you see now? Yes. Now, normally, wages are paid per
Okay.
hour
What?
or per
Okay.
week. Because even if it's
Week.
per hour, obviously per week you can just check how many hours did you work per week.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you worked 8 hours per week, they will tell you how much you earn for that particular week. In other words, sometimes I know some of the students, I don't know, they do what you call the promotion sometimes. They say, like let's say weekend you're not going to school, you can go and work at the shop. Can you see now? And then
Yeah.
they pay you 5 rand per hour. I'm just giving an example.
Mm-hmm.
So wages work like that. So they will always give you how many hours did you work for the month or for the week, and they will tell you how much you get. And sometimes there's overtime. Can you see now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's why here I said the overtime rates are higher than the normal time.
Great.
Yeah, because if you say I must work overtime and you give me the same rate, I've got the right to say no. I'm not forced. You know that.
Okay. I didn't know.
If you want me to sacrifice my weekend and my normal rate is 50 rands, give me 100 rands. I will come. Otherwise, I'll say no. I want to rest. Can you see now?
Okay. Yeah.
But it depends. Some companies, even though you work overtime, they don't give you extra. So, but
Why?
it's all about because companies don't want to pay. They just say come and work. You're gonna have that extra 50 rands. But remember, you are not forced by law. You are not forced. You understand?
Mm, yes.
Yes. Overtime it means is outside your working hours. You're not forced to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is important. So the question they will always tell you, if there's overtime, they will tell you. Sometimes they don't tell you that it's overtime. They will tell you that our normal hours, let's say for example, per week, let's say that we've got 40 hours per week. So if you work 45 hours, it means overtime will be what? 5 hours. Can you see now?
Yes.
Because normal working hours are 40
Mm-hmm.
because it's eight, I think 8 hours a day. Those are the normal working hours. So if you say 8 times 5, you get 40. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yes. But as you can see here, for you to get the gross wage, you will take the basic wage. Obviously, the basic wage is like the normal wage based on your hours. You add your overtime.
Overtime.
And you see the gross always take everything that you got before deductions.
Okay.
Yes. So
There's
that is
time.
yes. Yeah. So it's similar to salaries, just that here we use hours, but salaries we don't use hours. We just tell you that you earn 10,000. Can you see the difference?
Yes.
Yes, but for wages, we use hours.
Okay.
Are we okay?
Mm-hmm.
UIF, UIF, let's like we said, is an insurance. Remember, UIF is an insurance. In other words, if you don't get unemployed, you won't get UIF. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
UIF, you are not saving. You are just insuring yourself. Like your car is insured. If you're not in an accident, will you claim the insurance?
No.
You can't. The same applies to the UIF. So if you are not unemployed, you won't get UIF. Like I said here, to contribute to UIF, you need to work more than what? 24 hours in
20
a.
in a month.
So if you work less than 24 hours, you don't have to contribute towards UIF.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that you are not insured. If you are unemployed, they will still give you money. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Yes, but you don't have to
One
contribute.
percent of your salary, they'll give it to you.
No, they don't give you 1%. 1% means when you remember for now you must contribute. You are still working. Eh?
Yes.
When you contribute 1%.
Oh.
When they pay you, it doesn't. No, it's not going to be 1% when you are insured. They can even give you more than that. Can you see now?
Mm,
Because 1% will be nothing. Let's say you are earning 1,000. 1% is like 10 rand. Can you see now? So they will still give you money even though you didn't contribute that 1%. Even though you contribute 1%, the money that you're going to get when you are unemployed is going to be something that you can live on for those 6 months.
okay.
Maybe they can give you 3,500. They can give you 10. It depends. Can you see now?
Even if you did not pay the 1% every
Yes.
month. Okay.
The fact that you are, remember, you didn't pay because you did not qualify to pay,
Okay.
because you did not work more than what?
24 hours.
Yes. So when you are doing the calculation, so if they say someone worked for 24 hours, for less than 24 hours, 24 hours in a month, you must not calculate UIF for him or her.
Okay.
Yes. Like I said, how do we contribute? You as the employee, you will contribute how much? 1%. And the employer will contribute how much?
1%.
1%. For example, let's say we have, just want to try out something here. Let's say you are earning 10,000, let's say 10,000. If you are earning 10,000, it means you as the employee, you are gonna pay 1%. I think 1% is gonna be of 10,000. This is, I'm just writing here, it will come employee. The employee will pay, I think it's 100, ne? Or 10,
yes,
double check.
No,
it's
it's
100.
100. Yes.
100, ne? Yeah, as an employee, you're gonna contribute 100. Even the employer must contribute how much? 100.
100. Yeah.
Meaning all in all is gonna be how much?
200. My
200.
home will be 200.
Yeah. So the same thing that I showed you as a calculation here, your employer will also pay 100 to the insurance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Now, but there is, remember when you contribute this 100, let's say you are the employee, you're gonna contribute 100. But according to law, you can only contribute up to a certain amount. Let me explain. Can you see here? I said UIF threshold. Can you see? Threshold means maximum.
Okay.
Meaning, the threshold can only be up to what? 14,872.
72.
For example, let me give you an example. If you say 1% of this 14,872, how much you get? If you multiply it by 1%.
Of 14,872. It's 148.72.
148.72. It's like this, eh? It's like this.
Yes.
So you need to bear this when you are doing calculations. You need to know this. This will never change. It's according to law. So meaning no one must contribute more than what? 148.
148. Okay.
Even if you are earning $1 million, no one in South Africa can contribute how much? 148. For example, according to this calculation, how much must this employee contribute? 100. Can you see that? Before you can use this 100, you must compare with the maximum. What is the maximum?
148.
So it means you can use this 100. So the amount that you must contribute must only be up to what? 148. I don't know if it makes sense.
And if you are getting more, are you gonna pay 148?
Yes. For example, let's say after doing 1%, let's say, for example, for random example, let's say 1% is 300. Let's say it's 300 like this. Can you see it here? That's my UIF, ne?
Yes.
I must compare with this one. Is it more than the threshold?
Yes.
You can't use 300. You must use what? 148.72. I want you to look at, because in the exam they challenge you with that. So they want you to calculate, and then students don't know that if they find 300, they record 300. No. Just show the calculation that you found 300, but you cannot record 300 because by law, the UIF cannot be more than what?
148.
148. Does that make sense? Yes. So it must not be more than 148. So, but for now, don't worry. I'm just giving you the theory, but I want you to get this theory first before we can go to the calculations.
Okay.
Are you okay for now?
Yes.
Okay. There's something called skills development levy. This is not paid by the employee. Ne?
Mm-hmm.
This is only paid by the employers. Only contributed by the employers. Sorry. Yeah, do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. In other words, like companies, but they must make sure that they've got payroll. Payroll. I'm talking about what they pay as wages and salaries must be more than what 500,000 per annum.
Per
Does that make sense?
annum. Okay.
So think
Yeah.
about a company. So a company is paying, let's say it has got employees. So they must check how much do they pay their employees per annum. If they have got more than 500,000 per annum, they must go and contribute how much?
1%.
1%. Can you see now? We call it
Mm.
SDL, Skills Development Levy. This is called Skills Development Levy.
Maybe.
Do you know sometimes in South Africa, as a student, after you finished
Mm.
your qualification, there's something called internship.
What is this?
Like for example, I don't know. Let's say for example, when you are from school, obviously you graduated, you don't have experience.
Mm.
One company can train you for 1 year. Let's say they pay you
Oh,
2,000 for 1 year, and sort of for experience.
okay. I see.
You know, those companies sometimes they get that 3,000 that they pay you per month.
Mm.
They claim it from what? From this levy. So they will take the money. The money that they pay you is not their own money. They get it from this skills levy.
Do they even
So
pay the internship?
yeah, some companies do pay for internship. Let's say if they say for 1 year, they give you experience for 1 year and they pay you 3,000. But others don't pay because you are the one who needs
Three
experience. If
thousand
you're
a year or a month?
a month,
Oh,
yeah. Remember, you are still looking for experience.
yeah.
Yeah. Normally, when they pay you that 3,000, they go and claim that 3,000 from the government will take it from this 1%. So the companies will be paying this 1%, and this 1% will be used for those internships.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see now? So, but the internship is how many percent? Is also
1%. 1%.
it's like what? It's like UIF, ne?
Yeah.
But it differs with UIF because UIF is paid by both employee and the employer.
Employer. But this
But
is
this one is
paid only
only paid
by the
em-
employee. Yeah.
here's only employers, okay?
Yes.
Yes, I want you to get that difference. So I want you to look at this formula. If you want to calculate your skills development levy, you take your gross salary, or I said gross remuneration because remuneration accommodates both salaries and wages, ne?
Yeah.
And you will deduct what? Pension fund
Mm-hmm.
before you use.
The 1%. And then
Yeah, so you must say,
after doing that formula, then we do the 1%.
yeah, we do the
Percent.
1%.
Okay.
For example, I can just do, let's say, for example, this, ne? And after doing this, and you can just multiply it by what?
The 1/100.
1%. Yes, that will be your SDL.
Okay.
And there's no max, there's no threshold. Like, remember when we spoke about the UIF, we spoke about the threshold.
Mm-hmm.
There's no threshold for that, so there's no maximum. You don't have to check anything. Just multiply whatever you find, your record.
Okay.
Are we together?
Yes.
Yeah. Theory is important. I think you know by now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We spoke about the pension, obviously. Like I said, sometimes pension, they will tell you how does pension, how much you must contribute. Remember, I said sometimes the employer can also contribute something to your fund. They can help you to fund your pension,
Yes.
but they are not forced. Sometimes they do that because they like you. They don't want you to go because you are
Mm-hmm.
important in the company. Are you okay?
This is a pension fund.
Yeah, this is the pension fund.
Okay.
But the question will tell you how is this a pension fund? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how the salaries and wages look like. I think you have seen this before. Can you see now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is the employee side. Can you see the name of the employee? We've got the salary that the employee is gonna get. And then
Mm-hmm.
remember, these are the deductions. Remember this
Yeah.
UAF,
Yes.
pay
Mm-hmm.
SUN, and pension. And we get
Okay.
what?
Net salary.
How do we get it?
Um, gross salary minus employee deduction.
Yes, perfect all the time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see here, this is the employer's contribution. In other words, what the employer will contribute. But the question will tell you how much the employer contributes. But this one they won't tell you because you must just know that. This one,
Okay. This one is
when
a
the
1%
yes,
of net salary
not of net, of gross.
of gross salary. Okay.
Yes. But these ones, they will tell you, ne? They will
Okay.
tell you whether the employer contributes or not.
Okay. And this one, the SDL one is the 1% of a
Yes,
net
one
salary.
percent. Yeah, of the gross salary. Gross. Remember that formula? Gross salary minus what?
Pension fund. Yeah.
Yes, you must know that formula.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the salaries wage. Let's go to the wages. They look similar. The only difference here is that they don't give you what?
Gross wages.
You must work for it. Can you see now? That's the only difference.
Okay.
So you must, they will tell you about the hours and then you have to remember I said they will give you the rate and something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they will definitely do that for you. And then, like they will tell you if there's overtime or not and things like that. So the formula, this format are similar.
Okay.
Okay. Are you okay with the theory for now? Because this is the theory that I wanted you to know.